Today I have lots of neat fabrics to show you, and I'm pairing them up with patterns just to give you some ideas, and this is one of my favorite ones. Keep watching for some inspiration. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today is about fabric. I do these videos every other month or when I have purchased some fabric and I want to share it with you. I don't do these all the time on a monthly basis or anything like that. And to provide extra value other than just showing you the pretty fabrics, I go through them, I have a think, I pair each of these fabrics to a pattern I would like to sew. They are definite sewing plans. Sometimes you might see these fabrics made up in other patterns later on because I'm very moody like that. So what has inspired me today is what has inspired me today. Please watch to the end. After I've shown you the fabrics, I have some updates to give you about my sewing machine, about a type of new video I want to film for you. So please watch until the end so you can know about that, and I'd love your participation with what's coming at the very end of the video. But let's hop into the fabric. I absolutely think these pattern pairings with fabrics work. I am very confident if I made these today that these types of fabrics would pair with these patterns. I have just neat fabrics to share with you. I have a really wacky one that I can't really pinpoint what it is. It's a mesh type of something. I have some Rayon Spandex, some athletic knits, some sort of velour type fabric, and some stretch velvets. I'm not absolutely sure of the exact names of these velvets that I'm going to show you. They are knit fabrics, they do stretch, they are the stiff material type. I'll start showing you one of the wacky ones first. I'm so happy I found this online. I know exactly what I'm going to make with it. It'll be a pattern test and I'll let you be surprised. Look, this is a two-way stretch. Look at this. It is slightly sheer, it's got some little hairs, furry bits going down, and it stretches only horizontally. Not that much. I would say this is a low stretch type of knit. Vertically, it barely has any stretch at all. So very nice, very different. What I'm planning to do with this will be combined with a woven fabric, and it'll be very different. I'm sure you're going to be surprised when you see the garment made out of it. So I can't pair this to a pattern right now, but just be sure that you will see this on the channel very soon. I really love this fabric. It's so one of a kind, and yeah, just very different fabric, and I have quite a lot of it, so I'm pretty sure I can make more than one garment out of that. I'll show you now the weird velvets that I have. Now this one is a low stretch velvet. It's not the type of velvet that does not stretch. And look at this print. It's mainly black, but it's got some weird animal print there with these swirly things. Look, I'm not that much of a fan of animal print, but I do like them when they are in grey tones and when it's not 100% animal print. I like that there's black sections here. This is a low stretch one, look at it. I would say this stretches 20% maximum. Horizontally and vertically, nothing. So I also know what I'm going to sew with this, and it will be the same thing I'm going to sew with the fabric I've just shown you. So I'm very excited for those two versions. When I like a pattern, I usually make it twice, and that's the case for this one. I'm really excited. Now for the next couple of velvet fabrics, I do have pattern pairings, and I'll show you three that are sort of the same type, but they're just different colors. This one is a very rich green, and it's got so much lovely texture on it. Very, very nice. It has the appearance that it's wet, so anything that you sew, even though this is a solid color, you are going to really see the seam lines, and it's such a beautiful rich green. I think it really goes with me. I like strong colors like this, so beautiful. What I would sew with this is a pattern I've had for ages from Itch to Stitch. It's called Bella Vista, and it's like a sweater with a large slouchy cow neck. I will put a line out here so you can see, and it's sort of swing style. It's just very comfortable to wear. I think very classy, and I think made in this material it would look super beautiful. Just a nice comfy thing to wear and be cozy, but also look pretty. So yeah, that is a pattern I've wanted to make for a very long time. It is one of the older patterns, so that one comes from sizes 0 to 20. And yeah, I can just definitely see this fabric made into the Bella Vista from Itch to Stitch. Now I have the same type of fabric, but in black. It's so pretty, so nice. It will also look very beautiful in anything really, but ever since I made the Nyoka dress from Sinclair at the end of 2020, I always knew I wanted to make it in some stretch velvet of some sort. Now this would be a very warm dress to wear. I would wear it in the winter. This is not a fabric I would want to wear in the current weather, but I think that crossover on the front with this would make it super fancy, and it would be a really comfy, fancy dress to have. So I definitely want to make that Nyoka dress with this fabric, and I think the crossover would look amazing in this black velvet. So that is a definite plan. I really want to sew that, and I've already sewn this dress, so I already know how everything goes. Usually when you try sewing a pattern twice or 3 times, it's much faster. You're not really looking at instructions, and it can be super enjoyable. I highly recommend repeating patterns. If you've made the investment of getting a pattern, you might as well make it more than once. The next one is the same type of stretch velvet. I bought it in the same online place. I just saw that they had all these colors, and you know, why not? And this is blue. It's so nice, so pretty, and you know, I like these strong colors. I love blue. It's looking lighter blue on the screen than it is in person. For me, it's more of a navy in my eyes right here. There is another pattern from Itch to Stitch that is older. It's called Arena. I really like it. It's also a long sleeve top, but I really like that neckline that crosses over here on the front. It's like a deep V with a flat bottom there, like a wide band that crosses over. I love that, and I think it would look super pretty with this. It is pretty low cut, but you're supposed to wear something underneath, and this would be a layering piece. So I really like this. Now I'm thinking ahead because my weather will start cooling down in sort of late April, but I know now in February a lot of you are still stuck in the snow. Depending on where you are, I'm still stuck in the heat, but I'm thinking ahead. Okay, the next velvet is red, and it doesn't have that sort of wet look texture that the other ones have. It's just so pretty. Now it's definitely looking lighter red on screen than it is in person right here. I hope you can see that texture. It drapes beautifully. This actually on the other side is super soft. It feels a little bit like flannel inside. I have enough of this to make a really nice hoodie. And there's one from Sinclair that I like. It's called Calypso, and it's got some color blocking details. I've always liked the combination of red and black, and I actually have some black. I think they would go together and would make like a nice thing to wear that would be really striking with red and black. Totally my colors. I'm really liking the hoodies that Sinclair makes. They have several kinds, and they all have really interesting details. It's not just typical designs. They always have something different in there, so I've been looking at them closely. I think I want to make that one. And another pattern I'd like to make from Sinclair is a pair of sunset lounge pants. This pattern was released maybe 2 years ago, and initially it was free for about a year. That's when I downloaded the pattern. It's not free anymore. I would love to have those pants in this brown velvet. So as I said, they are very soft inside. I would be very happy to have this against my skin on my bottom half and make those pants with this. They would be so nice to wear. And lounge pants, but I think when they're made out of this type of material, they just look nicer than regular sweatshirt material, you know? So those are the fluffy fabrics. My glasses are getting really foggy right now, so I can't wear them anymore. A few months ago, I used a fabric to make one of the favorite dresses I've made from Sinclair. Around October, November, I can't recall, late last year, I had a fabric that I loved, and I used it all up to make the Alana dress from Sinclair Patterns. I was able to find the same fabric, more of it, and you know, if I like a fabric, I don't mind having several garments with it. Like I don't really care, and I don't plan to make a garment that will go with the one I already have. I never want to be dressed head to toe in the same fabric. So I found the same one, and this is an athletic knit. It's so beautiful, it's so soft to wear, it's nice and heavy but still has a lovely drape to it. And these fabrics are really versatile for me. These types, I can make so many types of garments there. And there is a pattern by Sinclair called Alba, and it's a type of jacket. It has an asymmetric zip that goes across the front, not up and down. And I really love that collar piece that is sort of gathered or pleated there. It's just so pretty. And I'd love to make that with a contrast fabric here on the collar. I'd have to find this matching one. But this is a jacket I would love to have in this fabric. Just a different print jacket that I can wear, and where the jacket is actually the statement piece of the outfit, then the rest can just be very simple things. but I got this fabric thinking of that pattern and I really want to make that. Now there is a pattern that has been around for so many years and I've seen it made so many times by so many people. It's actually grown on me because originally I thought it wasn't going to be my style, but it's from Friday Pattern Company, the Rayon blouse. It's got a really nice gathered effect here on the neckline and large sleeves. It looks like a comfortable top to be made sort of flowy knit material. And I got a little bit of this just to see how it was, and I definitely like how it is, so I'll probably be buying more of these. And look, it's a very nice knit. It's really hard to tell which side is which, but I can sort of tell. Look, this is comparable, a little bit heavier than the Rayon Spandex I use, but it's got such a lovely texture. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this is a navy blue, and I think the Adrian top would look super pretty in this. Hope I have enough to get those sleeves because the pieces are pretty big. But I really want to try that pattern. It's grown on me over the years and I think this fabric would be amazing. I don't really like sewing solids, but I'm really liking these solids that have this texture and they look different. They're not just plain flat type of fabrics. So yeah, I've been trying to dive into solids with texture and this fits the bill. I love it. This is another athletic knit, the same composition, weight and properties of the one I've shown you previously, but the fabric here, the print is so nice. Look at this, so pretty. And I like making dresses that have a bit of flow on the skirt because the drape of this fabric, even though it's heavy, it's so nice. So there is a dress I found on the Sinclair website called Claudia. It's got a panel on the side from the hip down like a godet that can be made in a contrast fabric. So this does have black as a background. I love to make that contrast piece in a black so that you could see it, and then the rest of the dress in this print. Love that. I really like that style when I saw it. I can't believe I hadn't noticed it there before. I think this would be perfect, and it would be just a really nice wearable dress that is super pretty and fits well. The skirt is not excessively full, it's not tight either, so it's just the type of dresses I like to sew and to wear. I was able to get some big 4 patterns on sale a few months ago when they had a big sale that included their PDF patterns. So Butterick and McCall's also produce PDF patterns for their patterns. So that's really nice because I can get them as well and download them on my computer very easy without needing the physical printed envelopes. So there are 2 patterns there that would suit these 3 Rayon Spandex fabrics I'm going to show you because they are stripy in different ways, but they do have stripes. One of them is McCall's 7538 and the other one is Butterick 6724. I will put the drawings here so you can see them. And they both have asymmetric cuts. Some of them have also featured stripes in their product pictures here on the models. I was looking for interesting stripes to make these patterns. I'm not decided, but I think any of these prints of Rayon Spandex would work. And this is the one I showed in the introduction. I think it's so beautiful. It does have stripes, but they aren't your traditional stripes, so there's different widths and it looks like they've been just painted on. And the colors are amazing, you know, tones of pink and violet and darker purple and brown and black. It's just so pretty. So both of these dresses have asymmetric pieces where the stripes could go in different ways, and I just see it looking really pretty in this fabric. And then the next ones are sort of more black and white. This one also has weird sort of stripes that aren't your traditional stripes either. So they also have different widths and shapes, but they do have some type of stripe feature in there. Black, white and gray, which is pretty classic. And then this one is just, this one's more boring. I left the most boring for the end. It's just black and white stripes. So I'm excited to have these stripy fabrics that aren't your traditional stripes. I don't really like traditional stripes going horizontally across the body, and I think these patterns have design lines that will allow for a different look there. So I'm excited about those. I mentioned at the beginning that I had some things to tell you, things that happen. Unfortunately, these are all knit fabrics and I won't be able to sew them for a little while. Yesterday, while I was sewing the garment with a really heavy knit in several layers, I don't know what happened to my main machine, but the motor, it just started making a weird noise and it just seemed really strained until it just made this horrible noise, and it just when you try to hand crank, it's just like it's something tight in there. I'm not sure exactly what happened in there. So it is an electronic type of machine, although the most basic types of electronic machines. And it's going to a technician in another city, and it'll be at least 10 days for me to get it back. So I'm working on this really basic Janome machine that I have, that I bought to make curtains. It does a straight stitch beautifully. So I'll be sort of limited for a while and just able to sew wovens for now. So I'll just have to wait and see if my machine can be repaired. Otherwise, I'll have to buy a new machine, and all these neat, lovely projects will have to wait for a while. So partially why I don't have a proper sewing video for you this week, because my plans included some knit makes that I just can't sew right now, because my machine only does a straight stitch. I can't really regulate a huge zigzag stitch that it does. So things that happen. I know a lot of you that have your machines can periodically have issues with your machines. The issue with me is that I rely on it to produce sewing content and to have videos up on the channel, because it is my job. So it is a huge issue at the moment, but I'll just have to switch and adapt and just change what I'm doing for a little bit, and just change my plans basically, so that I can adapt to what this basic machine can do for me. Also, here is where I really want your participation. I have never done a Q&A type video on my channel ever. I've been on the channel since 2017, so it's been a full 4 years, going on to the 5th now. And I'd love to have questions from you. They can be sewing related or not sewing related. Anything that you are curious and have always wanted to know about sewing, about anything, I would love to answer, within limits of course. So I would love to film a Q&A video for you. I think it would be a fun one. So please leave me a comment down below with any of the questions that you might have for me. I'm happy to do a video like that. That would be really fun. Those are all the updates. Those are the fabrics. I hope this was fun to watch. And now I'm going to say goodbye. I will be filming a separate fabric haul with some woven fabrics that I'll post on Patreon. For the lovely people that support me there, I do make exclusive videos for Patreon, and yeah, they'll get to see a bit more fabrics than what I'm showing you here. So I'll just get on with that. Really don't mention Patreon often enough. I sometimes mention it here and there. But if you're new to the channel and you would like to see more content from me, you can check out my Patreon page. I will leave the link down below. If you really love the way that I work, you will see a lot more content there. And I produce exclusive videos there for some of the tiers. So that's about Patreon. And please leave me your question. I'll be very happy to read them and see what my answers will be. See you very soon.